Good morning, my darlings. It's day 6 of the 31 Days of Horror. Today's offering, I bring you Damien, Omen 2. I have been on the search for the first one, the Omen. Haven't yet found it, but I'm sure I will. Now, Damien, Omen 2. The prophecy from the darkest vision of evil is now coming true. Oh, I'm pretty sure we're all very familiar with Damien and his unfortunate parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thorn. Oh, how unfortunate to fall to her death. How unfortunate he to be shot by the police. Yes, Damien's parents. As this prophecy said, when he was sure to get everything, inherit everything they owned, then he was to get rid of them. And oh boy, did Damien get rid of his parents. Seemingly sweet, innocent Damien. Not so sweet, not so innocent, that little boy. He knows what he's got to do. He knows who his father is, and he knows how he was born, or he will do in Damien too. Yes. Oh my goodness me. He goes off to military school, no less. Seems to know all the answers to every war that ever started and ever finished. The names and dates and births and deaths of all the dictators and all the evildoers that were ever existed on planet Earth. He knows them all. He knows them all by heart. How does he know? How does he know them? Because it is part of his lineage. After all, dear Daddams down in hell below, the devil himself, sent forth his only son, the Antichrist, our Damien. Aye, and what a lad our Damien is! What a little nightmare! Whatever goes near Damien, unless they pledge allegiance to Damien, they will end up dead. Oh, his poor cousin, poor Mark. He wouldn't join Damien. He wouldn't. No, neither would his uncle or his aunt. All these people, all swirling around Damien. I don't know. An ancient mural rises from a suffocating dust of the Jordan Valley. Yigael's Satan, a portrait older than time. The face of the devil, the face of Damien. Robert Thorn saw Satan in his child, and Thorn died violently. 7 years later, Damien has been adopted by his uncle, Richard Thorn. Richard Thorn commands an international industrial empire, a position of awesome potential power, a position for which Damien is the heir apparent. And as he grows in his knowledge, he grows in evil. Yes, Damien. Nobody likes Damien. Aunt Marion hates Damien. She hates him with a passion. Oh, Aunt Marion, what were you thinking, Aunt Marion? Oh, how awful. Her death. Oh, her beautiful, terrible, terrible death. She dies with a crow over her. She dies in the most heart-rendering, beautiful, desperate way. Yes, Aunt Marion has a heart attack and drops dead on the floor, having been scared to death by the crow, who is going, ee, ee. Yes, so bye-bye, Aunt Marion. She was very fond of Mark. That's Damien's cousin. And Mark, bless him, innocent little lamb, no idea who his cousin is. Oh, well, while in military school, Damien, darling Damien, learns who he is from one of the instructors there, one of the commanders. And oh my goodness me, he doesn't like it. He's frightened, he's terrified. He runs off screaming, no, me, why me? Well, I think he gets over that pretty damn quickly. And he suddenly realises, hey, wow, I'm the son of the devil. I can do whatever I want. I can have anything I want. I am Satan's son. I am the chosen one. Oh, yes, he is. And believe me, he uses his powers to his advantage. Yeah. He has a legion of people there to ensure that Damien is well cared for indeed. Oh my goodness me, there isn't anything that they wouldn't do for the darling boy. They would protect him with their lives. They would kill for him. Yes, they will do anything for that boy. Well, don't they live well? Don't they have a wonderful life? Don't they have power at their fingertips? All facilitated because they chose to take care of Damien, to be his trusted guardians, to ensure that they take care of Damien. Oh yes, and they will always love Damien. They will love him forever, for they worship the boy. They worship him to death. They do part. Oh yes, Damien, not one to miss a trick, our Damien. You notice how many times I've said Damien in this. He's going to turn it into a shot game. Every time I mention the name Damien, you've got to have a shot. Yeah? By the time you've got through this video, you're going to be absolutely kale-eyed. And you're not even going to know what a Damien or who a Damien is. Oh, you've got to have sense of humour. But I truly love this novel. I really do. I love the whole premise of the entire of the Omen. All four of them. Yes, there is. And Armageddon is the fourth one, which I am in the process of hunting down. Number 1, number 3, and number 4, because obviously I've got number 2. And I just love the whole premise of a demonic child and coming to find out who he is and how powerful he is and how he's going to take over the world and destroy humankind. Oh yeah, I mean, what's not to love in that? I mean, Damien fascinates me. Oh, see, it said it again. I'm going to have that enough shot now, aren't you? But yeah, I absolutely love the Omen. I just think the whole concept, the whole idea, and it started off with David Setzer, right, who wrote the original, and then of course Joseph Howard wrote this one, and based upon the movie So it's tied in with the movie. And I just, honestly, it's just such a good story. And you obviously all know the history of the curse of the Omen film. And if you've not seen that, oh, blimey, do watch, because there are some very, very strange things that went on with the Omen and the filming of it. And in fact, I think it was on VHS a few years ago now, but they did a cursed movie or cursed movies, and one of them was The Twilight Zone, one of them was The Exorcist, The Omen, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, it will probably come to me later. But starred Mia Farrow, Rosemary's Baby. That's it, Rosemary's Baby. That was in it as well. And The Haunting of Julia, which was also another of Mia Farrow's films, and she played the part of Julia. And so that was all in the haunted movies, like, cursed films, if you like. But yeah, I mean, you can understand why. It's a very delicate subject, is the Antichrist, and he's forever watching, isn't he? Waiting, looking for an opportunity. Suppose we have to be vigilant and keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't crop up. I know. Sometimes, you're looking at your own children when they're having an off day and you're looking for the 666 behind their ears. Not that I've had much experience of that. And trust me, my children are absolute angels. Never once behaved badly. And I've never looked for the 666 behind their ears. Have I, second child of mine? No, she was just a really lively baby. Parenthood, not for the weak. Anyway, getting back to our darling Damien. He knows he has specialist powers, and he knows that he has a duty to his father, Satan, and he will fulfill those duties. Oh, yes, he will. He will grow under the tutelage and care of his guardians, who are forever watching over our darling Damien. Yes, and they will protect him to the ends of the earth and beyond. Yeah. Mark, his cousin, wouldn't join him. His uncle wouldn't join him. What about his aunt? You'll have to read the book and find out, won't you? Yeah. If you've never seen the film, I do recommend it. I do believe that Disney Plus at the moment have got all, imagine that, Disney, cute little Disney characters, princesses and Bambi. And you've got the Omen. Yes. Oh, that's one for Halloween, isn't it? The Omen back to back, all three. Ooh, highly recommend. Yes, if you've never seen it, The Omen, where have you been? Seriously, it's been around since 1976, when I popped on planet Earth. Yeah. Well, anyway, I love The Omen. I really do. I love when they find out that Damien isn't human. The doctor finds out he isn't human. That what happens to the doctor? Oh, what an amazing death scene. An elevator decapitation, no less. Yes. Oh, that's a good death. Absolutely. And then, we've got the scientist who accidentally, was it an accident? Ooh, I don't know. Somehow he managed to get poisoned by the pesticide he was trying to approve. Absolutely. I would say evil forces were afoot. I know. Damien. Damien will live to rule us all. This one he will anyway. Yeah. So, if you're feeling like you need an extremely good horror, an extremely, I can't sleep tonight, I've got insomnia. Well, you'll have insomnia forever. Or you'll be incredibly drunk if you've been playing the game. Every time I mention the name Damien, you have to have a shot. There we go. So, Damien, 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 Damien. Now you'll be absolutely gay-eyed. There we are. Do give it a go. It is an absolutely cracking read. It's not very long. It's 192 pages. Not very long at all. And this came out in 1978. So this is a first edition from 1970. You know where I picked it up? I was going past a charity stall. In fact, my husband was going past a charity stall, saw this and thought that's right up our Fairies Street. My wife's going to love this, and you know what? It's so right. Tell ya, girls, get a guy that gets you. Mine buys me books. He loves me. Let's do the prologue. Carl Bugenhagen, the archaeologist, was worried, not because he was deep down under the ground, burrowing around like a mole in a hole. Bugenhagen liked it down there. It was cool and dark, and it smelled pleasantly of the past, and it was quiet, except for now. Bugenhagen had begun to hear sounds. Bugenhagen was not easily frightened. He was a powerful man in his late 50s, with the huge neck and shoulders of a classic Greek wrestler. His white hair and beard and his wild eyes gave him a look of an Old Testament prophet, which was an appropriation, since at this very moment Bugenhagen was exploring an excavation under the surface of Israel. He was there not only because he was one of the world's foremost archaeologists, but also because he was trying to prove the existence of the devil. The sounds alarmed Bugenhagen, and he had a good reason to be afraid. He suspected he was next in a series of people the devil had been forced to kill because they had threatened to expose the truth. Moreover, the devil had excellent reason to kill Bugenhagen, for Bugenhagen, in his pride and in his piety, had attempted to kill him. Bugenhagen was not trying to find evidence to prove the existence of the devil himself. He had all the proof he needed, in fact, all he could bear. Everything he had suspected for so long had turned out to be absolutely true, terrifyingly so. No, he needed the proof for his associate, Michael Morgan, so that the truth could live on. Bugenhagen knew only too well that the one who had tried to kill the Antichrist and failed could not hope to escape punishment. Bugenhagen had first broached the subject with Morgan the day before, as they sat drinking sweet liqueurs in a charming seaside cafe, and watching the late afternoon shadows stretch out along the cooling tiled floor beneath their feet. At first Morgan didn't believe him. Bugenhagen could understand why. It did take some adjustment, as he sat in that Middle Eastern world of bright colours. The setting sun shooting deep oranges and reds over the dark blue Mediterranean, and the softening light reflecting off the white stone walls of the old Israeli city of Acre. Even Bugenhagen considered for the first time the possibility that he might be stark raving mad. But then something inside him, some voice that didn't seem to be any voice he recognized, assured him that not only was he sane, he was blessed with a knowledge that was an enormous responsibility to impart. It bothered Bugenhagen that while Morgan remained understandably sceptical, Morgan's attractive girlfriend had no trouble believing him. That she was even with them had bothered Bugenhagen to begin with, but Morgan was an incorrigible romantic, and rarely without a woman, no matter what the occasion. So even though Bugenhagen had expressly insisted upon a private meeting, he was not at all surprised to find a woman with Morgan. He was just annoyed. Her name was Joan Hart, and she was very striking with auburn hair and flashing eyes. Bugenhagen didn't know what to make of the woman like her. When he was younger, young enough to have been swayed by her looks, though, certainly not by the way she talked, women like Joan Hart didn't even exist. There we are. I'm not going to read you any more because I don't want to spoil it for you. But if you've never read this book or never even heard of Damien, there we go again, another shot. Give this a go. I promise you this. You'll be fascinated. You'll be drawn into the treacherous world of the Omen. And what a world it is. Not for the faint-hearted, but if you must know the truth and search for good and evil, this, my darlings, is for you. I do highly recommend. 10 out of 10 for the entire series. I just need to find 1, 3, and 4, and then I'll have the set. I will indeed. But yes, do highly recommend Damien Thorn. All hail the son of Satan! Or if you're dyslexic, all hail the son of Satin. Yes, there we go. Well, my darlings, if you've enjoyed this, look forward to tomorrow because I have another surprise for you. What that will be, you'll have to find out tomorrow, so you better tune in. Anyway, if you like what I do, give me a thumbs up. If you really like what I do, you can always give me a subscribe. And follow me for more adventures because I know where all the fun is and all the drinking games. Damien! Yes, he is the one you've got to look out for. Damien. Take care of yourselves, my loves, and I will see you tomorrow with another surprise. Happy readings, darlings, and enjoy!